Hi guys, we're the Adams of A-Game. I'm Smith.
And I'm Mayhew.
And we are the founders of the business called A-Game Consultancy. We transform the performance and lives of senior leaders. And today we're going to be talking about one of our client success stories called Lee. Lee absolutely smashed it, didn't he, mate?
He did, yeah. The transformation that he's made over the last 2 years is just incredible. From where he was to where he is today is, remarkable.
Yeah, so to give you some context, guys, we typically work with people around all things habits, routine, goal setting, health, going alcohol-free, relationships and everything in between. So there's no cookie-cutter approach to what we do. It's all very much specific to the client and we tailor everything to their needs. So with Lee, I mean, he came to us very frustrated, overeating, sometimes undereating, and that was affecting his energy levels. He wasn't sleeping properly. So I work with more people around mindset, you do more nutrition. So what were some of the things that he was doing wrong with his nutrition?
So some of the things that were challenging for Lee, well, first of all, he runs a business, so he's a business owner. He is rushing around a lot, and as you mentioned there, at times he was undereating. He was mainly sort of grabbing food on the go, so tend to be quite sort of like processed foods, high saturated fat, lots of sugar in his diet. And whilst this was giving his body nutrients, he wasn't actually getting enough nutrients. He was also relying quite a bit on caffeine, so he was having lots of cups of coffee throughout the day, which were sending his energy levels all over the place. So he'd be on like a real high and then have like major dips, and be tired and fatigued.
Yeah, because he's a big guy as well. He's 6'6", he works with his hands, he's quite busy all the time. And the thing is that people just think it's just calorie deficit when it comes to nutrition, and it's not, because again, you have to make sure that you're getting all the things into ensuring that your sleep is good, making sure that your stool's not being impacted, making sure your gut health's there, and so much more, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah. When it comes to nutrition, there's no one size fits all. So what may have worked for your friend or family member, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for you. So it's really understanding where Lee was at his point in, where he was in life, and then what his diet, not just what his diet was like, but his entire lifestyle. And then through sort of nutritional therapy and through blood testing and DNA testing, we're able to find out what nutritional requirements is needed for him and tailor a diet for him specifically that not only like allows him to just survive, but to thrive.
That's the problem with like the blood tests that you get from a doctor, isn't it? Because you just go, you have your bloods taken, they go, you're fine, or there's maybe this small area that you need to work on and that's it. But could you just explain to people watching this, what's the process that you went through with the bloods? How does it work from sort of start to finish for people in a nutshell?
Yeah, so the way it works is we send a nurse round to your house, the nurse will take your blood, and that blood gets sent off to the lab. The details come back, and in the blood test there's about 48 biomarkers. So this is things like your cholesterol status, your vitamin status, inflammation status and things like that. And what we're able to do is look at it in detail. So the difference is, like with maybe with doctors or the NHS, for example, we can actually look at it in detail. So we spend a good hour going through, plus we have all the history on the client, their diet, their previous medical history, everything else. So then we've got a full understanding. And whilst we're not doctors, we're nutritional therapists, we can't diagnose, but we can suggest things and we can suspect. But from there, we've actually got data from the blood. So there's no guesswork in thinking, oh, well, he may be a little bit low in vitamin D, or cholesterol could be high based on the diet information that we've got. So now we've got actual data, and the data doesn't lie. So from there, we can then start to build a plan that works, a nutritional plan that works for him.
Yeah, that's it. And the thing is that, as you said, it is so personal, but you can't hide from the data, because a lot of people that come to us, they'll say, my diet's fine. And they just think it's chicken and broccoli and it's overnight oats, then you're good to go. It's like, no, it might be affecting you in a different way and you don't actually quite know how it's impacting you. It might be that, again, your tolerance for caffeine might be far lower or far higher than somebody else and all that kind of stuff. So you have to figure that out. And from the lifestyle side of things, again, we talk about like the mental diet, don't we? It's not just things that go in your mouth, it's the thing that goes in your ears, in your eyes. What are you watching? What are you listening to? Who are you associating yourself with? This is all a big compilation of your proverbial diet, isn't it?
It is.
And he was people pleasing. He was spending time with people that weren't serving him. He was drinking too much, and the only reason why he was drinking too much was because he felt like he was going to be neglected by his friends, and I'm going to become boring now. I'm going to become ostracized from my inner circle. And Yeah, that's a huge element that was impacting him as well. He was listening to the wrong things. He was watching the news first thing in the morning. I'm like, if you want to have inner peace and mental clarity and you're watching the news the first thing you do in the morning, then you're having 3 coffees before you leave the house, and then you're getting stuck in traffic and you're getting frustrated, and then you get to work and then you're getting argumentative with clients or whatever, there's no wonder people feel like shit. You know, so we had to really assess all of those things as well. But with the people pleasing element, what I worked on him quite closely with was setting boundaries. And when people struggle to put boundaries in, it's usually due to low self-worth and low self-esteem. I don't feel worthy of my outcome. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to go to what everyone else says, and I'm going to go to the sort of beat of their drum. But what I encourage people to do, and what I said to Lee was, it's not saying no to them, it's saying yes to you. And this is what people pleasers really struggle with, because they feel like it's that, you know, I'm going to neglect that friendship, or they're not going to like me, or, you know, I'm going to be judged by them. But instead of saying the sort of no to the night out, just say yes to the night in. And that's the difference. But you can do this by crystal clear and effective communication. There's a big difference between communication and crystal clear, effective communication. If you just say, look, when it comes to drinking, when he wanted to stop, for example, not drinking tonight, lads. Around most groups of people, that's just not tolerated, is it? No. What do you mean? Why have you been a pussy? Just drink. Yeah. If you say, look, I'm not drinking alcohol because it's impacting my health, my sleep and my relationship, and I'd really appreciate your support as I go through this journey, you'd have to be pretty hard pressed to find a friend, a proper friend, that isn't going to support you on that, aren't you?
Well, yeah, when you say something like that, when you make a decision to go alcohol free or take a break from alcohol, you'll find out who your real friends are, because the ones that support you, the ones that will, you know, give you shit like what you just said then, the examples, they're not your friends, they were just drinking buddies. Fear of what other people will think, and that falls, you know, into something which is outside of your control, isn't it?
Yeah, for Lee it was his dad, and you know, that's whose business he runs now, who basically took it over from his dad, and he was always waiting for that acceptance from him. And when he came on our men's retreat, which we only do like once a year basically, but we transformed lives in those 3 or 4 days. And with Lee, we did as well, because he finally gave himself permission to let go of the bullshit. He allowed himself to really feel his emotions without the fear of what dad might say around man up or toughen up and boys don't cry, because, you know, most men that are 30 or 40 all say the same thing to me. My dad's from the old school. So I help a lot of men heal that sort of inner past, and that was a huge element for Lee as well. I actually want to read out a message that he sent, which is just amazing. And he sent some fantastic testimonials over the 2 years that we worked. I'd like to thank you from the bottom of my heart for changing my life and putting me in the direction that I now feel aligned with around my goals and who I am as a person. You've helped me through so much with my struggles and insecurities with my dad, and now we have a much better and healthier relationship, and I really feel like I've healed that traumatic past. You and May, you have helped me through some of the hardest times in my life, and I'll forever be grateful.
Yeah, amazing. I think it's important to mention that he did the work, didn't he? Obviously we helped him, we gave him the ingredients, but he actually applied and did the work. And we always say, isn't it, it's simple but not easy. You know, it's simple not to hit the snooze button in the morning. It's simple just to drink some more water. It's simple to get outside and go for a walk. These are some of the basic things that we do. But what were the other things that we did with Lee?
Well, we'll talk about the sort of results that he saw, right? So now he's 2 years without drinking a drop of alcohol. I think he lost about 12 kilos in weight. He wasn't really overweight anyway, but he is really lean now. He's in great shape. He was once working 100 hours a week in his job, in his business. Now he's working 45. He was debating whether his partner was right for him, and now they're happier than ever because he's finally allowed himself to be happy. He's going on holiday a lot more. He wouldn't take a holiday because he was fearful of leaving his business behind. He's hired staff because, again, he was fearful of letting go of that element of it as well. He's sleeping better, he's got more energy, he's happier, he's healthier. I could literally go on and on, but yeah, he has just taken every single aspect of his life and nailed it. And to the point that you made before around the strategy and the ingredients, you're right. If I put a bag of ingredients of the most amazing chocolate cake ingredients ever and put them next to Gordon Ramsay, he doesn't do anything with it. It's just still a bag of ingredients. You have to do the work. You have to physically do it. And every client that we work with gets a similar, bag of ingredients, as it were. if you don't use it, nothing fucking happens.
No.
And he changed his life because he did it and he applied it, and he sort of adjusted the proverbial recipe along the way. And he was with us for a couple of years, and yeah, his life has transformed.
Absolutely smashed it.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
for sure. So I think some people look for the proverbial secret sauce to success, right? And unfortunately, guys, some of you aren't going to like this. The main thing for Lee that changed everything was removing the booze. We can't recommend it enough. Just take a 60 to 90 day break and you'll see so many different benefits. And this again really was the gatekeeper for most of his misery. Because once he stopped doing that, he stopped craving junk food. Once he stopped craving junk food, he started eating healthier. Now he's eating healthier, well, I may as well drink more water. Now all these things are compounding, I'm sleeping better. Now I'm sleeping better, I have more energy. Now I've got more energy, I'm going to the gym more. Now I'm going to the gym more, I'm seeing progress in my body, I'm seeing progress with other areas. Now I'm doing that, I'm saying no to more nights out. So then I'm saving money. Now I'm saving money, I can invest it in other areas. So it just kept going and going and going. So in summary, if you're feeling like shit, or you're just a bit meh, or ugh, that is the feeling that we want to help you with. We don't work with people that have sort of hit rock bottom and what have you. There's therapists for that and whatever. We are high performance coaches. We are going to change your fucking life, but it has to start with you. It has to start today with a decision. So stop putting it off. If this video has resonated with you, click below, book a call, and we can help change your life.